The Wall Street Journal is now reporting, by the way, the Wall Street Journal's parent company and Fox News parent company share common ownership. They're reporting that President Trump led the effort to silence the porn star Stormy Daniels. Not that he was involved in it, but that he led it, and said that he would pay all the legal costs involved. According to the reporting of the Wall Street Journal, back in February, President Trump ordered his then lawyer and personal fixer, Michael Cohen, to get a restraining order against Stormy Daniels, with help from the president's son, Eric Trump. The Journal reports Eric Trump then got a Trump Organization lawyer to help with all the paperwork. The goal here, prevent Stormy Daniels from ignoring a non-disclosure agreement from October of 2016, and to prevent her from talking about her claim that she had sex with Trump a decade before that, long before he became president, but not long after his wife Melania gave birth to their son. None of it worked. Stormy Daniels did go public, as we all know, and did an interview with 60 Minutes on CBS. More than 20 million people watched, and untold numbers have seen it since online. President Trump has denied that he had sex with that porn star, but he admits reimbursing Cohen for the $130,000 that Daniels received before the election to keep quiet. Michael Cohen pleaded guilty in August to violating campaign finance law and could spend years in prison. He said that Donald Trump directed him to arrange the payment to Daniels to influence the 2016 election. President Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, has said that Michael Cohen is not credible and that none of the charges involve wrongdoing by the president. Most of this we already knew, but the Wall Street Journal report is the first time that we've heard that President Trump himself was involved in trying to silence Daniels, much less that he led the whole thing. Let's turn to Michael Rothfield. He's an investigative reporter with the Wall Street Journal and co-wrote today's piece. Nice to have you. Thank you.
Thanks, Shep.
He led it. How did you come to that through your reporting?
Well, just through talking to sources about what's happened. We initially reported that a Trump Organization lawyer was involved in this confidential arbitration proceeding. That was back in March, a month after that happened. And just continuing reporting, we learned that, in fact, there were two phone calls that led to that with President Trump and Michael Cohen. One in mid-February, first, where the president told Michael Cohen, then his lawyer, to coordinate with Eric Trump, his son, and with Lawrence Rosen, an outside lawyer. And then a second one a few days later in Rosen's office. And Trump told Cohen, I'll take care of everything, meaning the bills, and, just handle this and make sure she doesn't go on television. You
said coordinate with them. Coordinate with them in the effort to make sure that she holds up to her end of the bargain.
Right.
That was that non-disclosure agreement.
Right, and she doesn't talk, and do this in an arbitration proceeding, which is going to be confidential because it's like a dispute resolution in the contract that they had. You go secretly into arbitration and you try to get a decision, but as you noted, Stormy Daniels ignored that injunction that they obtained.
President Trump's denials on every level of this have been numerous and thorough, have they not?
That's right. And in fact, at the beginning, after we reported the existence of this hush agreement, the White House and the Trump Organization, even Michael Cohen, distanced the president from this and basically said, look, this is Michael Cohen who did this. You have to talk to Michael Cohen. The president, has denied everything. But in fact, we know that he was intimately involved.
Viewers may have a memory, because sometimes situations give you to trigger memory on such things. You'll remember the president was on Air Force One. He came back to where the press was. The press asked him about it, and he very memorably said, you'll have to ask my lawyer about that.
Right. He acted like he knew almost nothing about this. But in fact, this was 2 months after he'd had these conversations telling Michael Cohen to silence Stormy Daniels.
The importance of who led this really can't be overstated because of the bigger investigation involved.
That's right. Michael Cohen pleaded guilty and said in court that the president had directed him to make this deal in the first place, and also coordinate on Karen McDougal, a Playboy model who had been paid by the National Enquirer before the election. So that may still play out in other investigations that are ongoing.
The president further made the argument that keeping things quiet about matters of this nature was done for the reason of protecting his family, not to hurt his child and his wife and other members of his family. The bigger question is whether this would be tantamount to, or if not directly, obstruction of justice in the face of the investigation.
We haven't heard that.
No, that's what I'm saying. That would be the open question.
Yeah, that would be the open question. I don't know. I don't know.
And nor do we. But we do know that the president has said that the reason for trying to keep such things quiet was about his family. And I suppose that this could very well be a pivotal matter if you're a man who's doing this investigation.
Certainly.
And aside from the fact that we now know that the president directed all of this, is there anything new about this affair from beginning to end?
Well, we've been focused less on the, when you say affair, you don't mean the sexual affair.
I don't. I mean the affair as a whole as it's investigated.
I think what we're learning is that President Trump's involvement, both through Cohen's guilty plea and now through this, what we're reporting today, that President Trump was far more involved from beginning to end in all of this. I mean, we heard a couple months ago a tape of Trump talking to Michael Cohen about the Karen McDougal payment during the campaign and potentially buying the rights to that. We learned from Cohen in court that Trump was involved in both the Stormy Daniels and the Karen McDougal payments. And no, we're finding out that after the election, or after we revealed it, that Trump was then continuing to try to silence her.
Michael Rothfeld, an investigative reporter for the Wall Street Journal, again, parent companies, on all the rest. It's good of you to be here. Thank you.
Thanks,
That's available now at WSJ.com.